Today of introducing Lucy. When she joined us in 2021, she was in my English class, and I actually thought she was a little bit reserved. The first time it was her turn to present something in front of the class, she was like, do I have to get up and say it in front of everyone? What I didn't know at the time is that on our trip they were playing some campfire game and they were rating a bunch of things, or their comfort level with a bunch of things, and she'd already exuberantly rated herself an 11 out of 10. So that Lucy, that is the Lucy we know, that is the Lucy we love. I think we all know reserved is probably not how we would describe her. My initial read was not correct. She is hilarious. She's got amazing comedic timing, jokes, quips, probably better suited for something like a rugby bus than an all-school environment. But if you have spoken to Lucy, she's probably made you laugh. A few other things you should know about her. She's courageous. She stands up for the things she believes in. She stands up for herself. She stands up for other people. She's an amazing support for her friends, for her classmates. She's really great with younger kids, treating them with respect and dignity. She's always out at sports events, making friends with everybody. She's wise. She's consistent, considerate. She's always a voice of reason. She can see multiple perspectives, and she can also explore them with maturity and insight. And she's truthful. She's truthful even when it's hard to be. She owns her decisions, she owns her mistakes, she owns her shortcuts. And she speaks up when she feels like something needs to be said or that somebody needs to be heard. And the final thing that really, really impresses me about Lucy and that I respect so much is that as a grade 12 student, she's already basically mastered the art of the work-life balance. She's a great student, she works hard, but she doesn't let that rule her life. She's self-aware enough to know that there's more to life and more to success than just getting to the very apex achievement-wise of something. And that balance and happiness and well-roundedness and those sorts of things are important. And a lot of people never figure that out. Lucy, you have already. That's awesome. I'm sure she's going to share some of her wisdom, awareness, humor, and truth with us today. So let's get to the good stuff. Lucy Jackson, everyone.
My name is Lucy, and I came to RLC in September of 2021, which was the beginning of my grade 11 year. I've spent every summer I can recall in Muskoka. However, I never pictured myself living up here full time. The thought of the Muskoka winter was always daunting to me, and to be honest, that fear proves itself rational every year. Everyone in this room was affected by COVID-19, and I'm no exception. However, I feel lucky in the sense that if it wasn't for this pandemic, I never would have attended RLC. When the world shut down, my family and I decided to head up north in order to escape from the congestion and craziness of the city. I spent the next 2 years at my cottage, living through every season and loving it. As my older sister was heading off to university, I decided I wanted a change and an experience that was just mine. I came about the decision to move from a much bigger school in the city to RLC halfway through grade 10, and by the beginning of the summer, I was enrolled and excited for what was to come. There has always been a rivalry between the three big lakes of Muskoka, and so when it became a reality that I would attend Rossville Lake College, I had to make do, being that there was no such thing as Joseph Lake College, which happens to be the best lake. One of my first memories of RLC is our grade 11 out trip. I was so scared for this trip, and it was only when Zoe and I were paddling across Georgian Bay, singing any song we could remember the lyrics to, that I felt not only content with my decision to come here, but excited for the rest of this experience. As my grade 11 year continued, I have heartfelt memories of soccer with Quinn, learning to snowboard, and discovering a love for rugby, as well as Mr. Kerr's legendary line, "Be the hammer, not the nail." I recall this year as being a time where I learned more about myself and stepping outside of my comfort zone. At the beginning of grade 12, I was both excited for my second year and sad that there was so little time left here at RLC. This year has proved to be filled with more exciting memories, and it is crazy to me that I only have 2 more months here. Although this year has gone by so very fast, I feel lucky to be a part of this year's graduating class and to have had the experiences that I did this year. Whether it was watching the World Cup in data management classes or the simple pleasure of lunch with Zoe every day, I feel lucky. Through my experiences, I'm grateful for so many people, but I feel it is necessary to thank the following. First, to Miss Phyllis. Although I never had you as a teacher, I learned so much through our chats, and I am extremely thankful for our friendship. While he may not be a teacher, Johnny, my bus driver last year, offered me guidance and encouragement every chance he got. I was so grateful to him on every bus ride, and I cannot thank him enough for his companionship. I want to thank Mr. Smith for everything he has taught me, as well as my favorite memory of kinesiology, where we related the lessons of how many fingers and toes we have to the best hip song there is, Boots or Hearts. Mr. Crocker, who is always willing to listen and help with anything I ask, I want to thank you. I've always felt comfortable and encouraged to chat with you, and I'm so grateful to you for this. I should also thank Zoe and I's audience for any and all of our karaoke performances. And when I say audience, I really just mean Justin, who is now our new favorite roadie. This brings me to my final piece of gratitude, which is to Zoe. The point of a community talk is to express how the school has helped you to grow, but I could not be the person I am now without Zoe. You showed me how to be myself, which turned out to be almost exactly like you, leading to us being mistaken for each other almost every day. I can't imagine my experience here without you, and I'm grateful every day I got to spend the last 2 years with you. I will remember RLC as the place I met my best friend, and for that alone I am grateful. But I will also describe this school as my crucial stepping stone into the next chapter of my life. And so for that and all that I have mentioned today, thank you.
Lucy, everybody! That's a lot of adjectives you got from Miss Shepherd this morning, so I'll just try to capture some of them. Reserved? 11 out of 10, not reserved. Hilarious, quick-witted, courageous, stands up for self and others, a great friend and advocate, wise, consistent, considerate, truthful, speaks up, a master of work-life balance, self-aware. Lucy, I'm not glad for the pandemic, none of us are, but I think I can safely say we're all glad that the pandemic brought you here. Skeleton Lake, just down the road here, is actually the best of the Muskoka Lake. It does, have you ever been there? Oh, you should go. It does indeed take the wisdom, it does indeed take wisdom to understand when one needs a change, and that's very impressive, Lucy. Thank you for cherishing this experience, for coming, for cherishing it in the way that you have, challenging yourself to grow in the way that you have, for having the courage to come not only to this school but up here today and to share your wisdom. Thank you for modeling great friendship for all of us, and we're so happy you have found joy and growth at Rossa Lake College. Lucy, everybody.